Hi
everybody!
Well, it's our time again. I'm your host Ray Teo from IQI Canada, and today we're so happy to have Irene here, my co-host, and this pretty young lady, and also we have Aaron from our IQI team as well. So the topic that we're going to talk about, actually, lots of people already been using the Airbnb services, and I was the only one, I think. I have not used it. So, however, we'll get more questions and also answers from our two experts here. Like, Aaron has been doing it for a good number of years, like maybe 3 to 5 years, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yes. And also Irene also have this kind of, have been trying all these services for a few years, right?
Yeah, so I've done Airbnb on the consumer side several times around the world, but also I have Airbnb'd a couple units before. So Aaron's going to be like the master expert here because he actually has clients who he's managing some of those properties on Airbnb for. So speaking from true experience here, but I'm going to help to kind of supplement my anecdotes and experiences as well.
Okay, very good. So just for a novice guy like me, I don't know anything. First, how do you go about booking or searching for these Airbnb areas or services? And I heard a lot of stuff about it, right? But I've never done it, and then I believe some of the audience have not done it either because we're the old traditional way. We go to hotel, motel, right? So now is the new in thing, and I believe in Asia there are a lot of friends of mine. They book Airbnb, and when we go to trip like in Thailand, Bangkok, and all the areas in Singapore, same thing. Airbnb is so hot over there. So this is a good topic to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So it's good.
So I want to start Airbnb. So it's for my daughter.
A little bit louder.
Yeah. So when I start use the Airbnb concept, this from my daughter, same age like Aaron. So their age is like love travel, right?
Yeah.
And then we start use her account. And then because traveler, we have another side is host, and then we have a house in airport area. So before that, we have a client. They want to run the Airbnb before the Toronto City Hall passed the bylaw. So we try to have the experience run the Airbnb for my client, whatever. Yeah, now the Toronto City Hall, they have a bylaw, and then they have a kind of like regulation, and you have to registration for this the city, and then you have to pay the tax, and then now we just follow the city the bylaw rules, and then we have to be register your host the registration number. And then you can start.
So you have to register your house, the location, with the city of Toronto. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
And they gotta collect taxes on them. That's why.
So you gotta pay a portion of the. So they approve the bylaw to have Airbnb, and you have to register with them. Is there a membership? Yearly or certain things?
And yearly. Yearly.
Yearly?
Renew every year.
What does it cost?
Around about 4% roughly.
4% of
no,
all
I mean
your...
like I think the $50 or
$50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like per year annually with the government?
Annual. Yeah.
Oh, I
and
see.
then the registration fee, right? And then you pay around 4% for your income, whatever.
To the government?
Yeah.
On top of the registration fee. Interesting.
Yeah.
I see. What happened if you say, okay, this is a house for Airbnb, and 1 year I only rented out like 10 times, doesn't even cover my mortgages, doesn't even cover my taxes. So how do I still pay?
Yeah, they send a letter to you every quarter, so they collect by quarterly.
They collect it by quarterly.
Yeah.
So there's a fee, like 4% of your
Roughly,
income,
yeah.
roughly.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, there's still the splits with Airbnb, and that's not like we haven't talked about that yet. So just to back up a little bit for the person who's completely new to Airbnb,
Right.
on the Airbnb.ca website, you can be a regular member and browse all these Airbnb listings. But Aaron was speaking about how there's a host side of the website where you can start an account as a host and actually list your property, put up pictures, your price and all that stuff, and calendar of schedule, and then have your property on there. So there is a commission that the Airbnb website takes off the top, and then you can charge like service fees, you can charge cleaning fees, and all that.
Yeah.
But there's also on the administration side of things what you gotta give to the government. So they're actually also collecting some kind of commission on your earnings as well. Now there's also the registration fee, and then you gotta also pay your taxes on your income. And Ray is asking about how do you calculate your earnings and make sure that you're profitable, right? And I'm sure Aaron can speak to this, that you gotta go through your numbers, you gotta crunch and do your research and see for your area what is actually the capacity or occupancy rate. Right, for this month, for next month, that you can see that's available to book, and then what price point is kind of the sweet point that it's getting booked up, in what area. So Aaron, maybe you can speak a little bit to that. And also some units are better than others in terms of like having more natural light, or like 1 bedrooms rent more than 2 or 3 bedrooms just because there's more single travelers for work and whatnot, right? So maybe speak to that a little bit.
So you can because Airbnb they have flexible the city they ask you if for short term rental, so the maximum is 3 rooms rental.
Okay,
yeah,
maximum is
yeah.
3 bedrooms.
Yeah,
You cannot
yeah.
like make it a rooming house, you know?
The
Alright.
principal residence owner you have been occupants there, live there. So
That's
that
really
is-
interesting.
Yeah, that is by law. So
So which is good. Now you see that we have Aaron here, who is specializing in doing this kind of Airbnb as a host. That way, if you're an investor that you like to invest in Toronto area, you buy a house, and then we have specialists like Aaron who will take care of your properties, and you have worry-free. And then all we have to do is Aaron will get all this information out on the all the accountings out to you if you need them, and that way you see whether it's advisable to do it, right? So, and also some people they go away for two years and they leave the house vacant. So this also can be converted into the Airbnb homes, right?
Absolutely.
So and that way, and then we have a specialist here that we can actually keep your house occupied at the same time, help you to pay taxes, pay your bills, hydro bills. Even the house is empty, you still have to pay those bills. So no matter what, it's a win-win situation. That's why you need looking at this thing here. Airbnb might be a good idea if you tend to go away for 2 years, 3 years. A lot of people go away. So I have some clients that say, hey, you know what? I have to go back to stay with my mom because she's older, and for another year or two. And sometimes from 1 year it leads to 3 years to 5 years, and then you have to leave your house vacant. So and today actually Toronto, they don't allow the home to be vacant anymore. So they will give you a vacancy tax, right?
And how much is the vacancy tax now?
Yeah, they have
Do you know
to
how
charge.
much?
I think they will charge 20% or something.
No, is it that high?
Yeah, but
No way.
that to be verified. But they do charge now. They say, hey, this house is vacant. They
Yeah.
will charge you. So for being empty, so you have to rent it out somehow. Why don't you talk to an Airbnb specialist like Irene and Aaron here, and that way we can get it going. So you got no headaches. Everything can be done.
So So I did want to take a note on bylaws because we spoke a little bit about government bylaws, but don't forget that there's also, especially because it's mostly condominiums, condo bylaws, which are probably even worse than the government bylaws.
Everywhere they have their restrict something area.
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of owners don't want Airbnb renters in their building because it can affect maintenance costs rising and whatnot. And so a lot of condo boards make it a point to restrict these types of short-term rentals. So you have to be very careful and cautious to make sure that your status certificate is allowing you in your condo bylaws. So that's easy to find out if you just look that up from your property management or from your status certificate. But absolutely, that's something that we could help navigate with and look through the fine print with the lawyer. So
Yeah. And just now we're talking about the vacant tax home. So they will start setting it up in 2022. So when they approve, while this thing is not approved yet, next year, once they have been approved, so you might get all these taxes. So it's a good thing that we know about the Airbnb things that we can actually implement for vacant homes that you are not here. The next thing is the security that I'm worried about. So for a young lady like Irene, a pretty lady, and of course my daughter, so when they go for the Airbnb, is how secure would that be? Because they'll be giving all the information out to the host, and then the host will have the information. What happened if this information got leaked out or somehow, and the guests will get offended or whatever? So this is what's going to happen. So how secure would it be?
yeah, that's a really interesting commentary because of, as you know, even with Uber, there's been a lot of cases of harassment, even though there is a review system. So, like, the review system is in place, and that is really important. I think there's a lot of preventative steps that, as a renter, especially a single female traveler renter, that you can take to protect yourself. For example, making sure that there are multiple reviews, not just like a few dozen, but maybe hundreds. So you'll see a very big discrepancy between like places with no reviews, with a smaller number of reviews, and then with hundreds of reviews.
Yes.
And then sometimes you can see that it's privately listed versus like a property management company, which as realtors, most of us have these property management companies that we can help the investor, landlord to post. And then that gives a little bit sense of security too, that it's a company name. And when this account has multiple listings, that you can, as a renter, you can see, oh, this company has all these Airbnb listings and not just the one. It's more like, oh, okay, I can see that it's a business and it's more trustworthy.
I see. So I was thinking that, as a young lady, like, when you are in your 20s, you just get out of school and you want to go away, and then you say, oh my God, I'm looking for the cheapest or most economical place to get there, to live in for a night or two. So normally I would look at the cheapest price that I can afford, like $20 instead of $60 or $100, right? So there will be something that cause the young people to actually go for it. Like say, hey, I'm looking for this place, even though there's less review, but I can only afford $20 or $25 a night in New York City, So those would be the thing that, that's why I don't go to hotel, because I'm thinking that Airbnb would give me a better deal, and I'm worried about the security. That's why I have not been there, and this is how it works, right? So what would be your recommendation? Go through the review and pay a little bit more and seek for more review? Is that how you would recommend for safety issue?
Yeah, most of guests when they come to my house, whatever, and then they said, "Oh, ICU is the super host." So that is my don't worry about that. So policy, whatever. Yeah. So most of guests they they love that superhost property, right? So,
Yeah.
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 That is good, like review US, that is performance history, this is safe or security, whatever, also, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think that's a good thing, right? So to look into a superhost.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you get the designation as a superhost? How would that work?
Yeah, so because when every guest you check in and check out, then so both party have a review. You can review the guest 5-star, 4-star. For what they have a 3-factor. We have a good communication, and then have a clean or not, and then have something. They have a 3-factor. You can run the 5-star, 4-star, and then the host, same thing. They have a review for couple of factor, give you the rank. Yeah. So
I see.
Yeah.
So you have you take the background checks. What about background checks? Do you do any background checks as a host? Do you give your check to Airbnb information, or how does that work?
most of it, when you set up account, you have biology. You say that your background, your group where, and then
A biography.
yeah,
Like a
biography.
profile.
Yeah, profile. Yeah, and then everybody see, oh, this is girl, right? And then it's from a university, what live in California or live in Toronto, whatever, right? They know roughly your profile.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a profile base and score.
And ID. And you
And
have to
ID.
submit your ID, yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So what about the account protection? Let's say I give you my credit card, right? So I book that room. So my credit card, my information stay with you.
No, he's living Airbnb system.
Oh, Airbnb is
Yeah.
holding it. So Airbnb is accounting for you. You have nothing
Yeah.
to do with my account,
Yeah.
my
so why
credit cards.
Yeah, Airbnb is big brand now, right?
Ah, I see. I see. Okay. So what about the what do you call that? The risk. What I call the refund. Let's say, hey, something happened. How often? How much time do I have to inform you? Say I'm booked for this weekend. Something happened, and I say, okay, I have to cancel the trip. I cannot be there. How much time do I have to contact Airbnb or?
Yeah, the system they have this kind of service. When you're before, because different hosts, different regulation, the rules. So that means if let's say 24 hours before, you cancel that, no penalty.
Okay.
Refund you by 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
most of-
what happened if it's like within 2 hours or 3
Yeah,
hours?
that is mean like you have the penalty.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll,
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
probably lose.
Yeah, lose your other.
So
you
there's,
have to
there's
lose for
two-
your whole night, whatever you pay
No,
out.
there's
or-
two payments, right? So
Yeah.
when you first book, you pay half, and then the other half gets taken on the first day of your booking, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that what it is?
I think the whole month you charge from the credit card, right? And then so if you break this, you cannot check in whatever. So your fault. So most of chance you lose your.
You'll be
Yeah.
the night. There's no refund. Then.
Yeah, but they have a very clear description there for the rules.
Yeah,
So,
there's different rules
different
per
rules
host.
there.
There can be like, you need 48 hours notice, you need 24 hours notice, and then there might be like a full refund versus 50% refund versus other partial refund. So it just depends per host.
I see. So
Yeah.
does that mean that every booking I have to go through Airbnb website, or can I contact? Does anyone advertise on the newspaper at all, or anything like that?
I don't think anyone advertises on newspaper for any industry anymore.
No, right? or on the website or on the
We have an app.
Kijiji.
We
You
have
never
a-
know.
Yeah.
We have an app. So that means why I use that every day. Use that app. So
It's an Airbnb app.
yeah. This
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
And,
so
that answer your question. If somebody booked today, and then we have guest check in yesterday actually. And then if they have a detail, then when you the book, so they have like very clear information here. The guest, how much they pay, and then how much host get it, the money. And then if have anything change, you just mention that you have to be like revise the booking, and then you have a cancel booking. You have a like send request or ask payment. So we have like
Okay, all those information.
with all the like the app, they have this function already. So we can follow this system.
Okay,
Yeah.
since Aaron, you are in the Airbnb business, right? So what kind of income or return that you are looking on the Airbnb system? Like, you know, if I have a client
Yeah.
that wants to say, hey, I have a house, I want to do Airbnb, how should I tell them? I say, hey, you know, if you do continuous yearly, right, what is the average income they could generate? You know, for the hustle, they have to clean, they have to leave the space always there, and someone has to clean up, right? Is it worth it? And what kind of income are you looking at? Is that worth the while? You are in the business, so you tell me.
Yeah, so that means I have a different points to involve this system. First thing, the culture experience. Mean like I like deal with people. I like social. So the rate and compare the regular rental. I think is you can control that. You know the Toronto the any like regulation, you cannot increase your the rate every year, right? So so roughly like 1.8% or 2% year, depend on the government, the city how
Those are the rental
The
rate.
rent inflation, right?
Yeah,
Right?
but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that, you know, your Airbnb, let's say you rent for $100 a night for the whole house or the whole basement, right? So when you do that, is it worth the while? I want to know whether it's worth the while for, let's say I have a house.
Yeah.
Now I have a full basement all finished,
Yeah.
separate entrance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now I want to think, I say, hey Aaron, I want to rent it out. Is it worth my while? Because
Yeah.
I need someone to go clean it. I need someone, and then of course I'm afraid that those guys down there, they could be partying, destroying, and also caught fire or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it worth my while doing it?
Yeah.
Right?
That is things like how much value it can create. For example, we have a like real estate market, different house, different price, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that means this same thing, even like one bedroom or one bed. So different people create different value.
Yeah. I think
So-
it really depends on like what your strategy
Yeah,
is for investment.
you have to say how much value you can create.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, if you're like
How
five
much
star,
value then?
you-
So I
you
can
create-
give you
yeah.
some concrete because you're looking
Yeah.
for concrete numbers.
I'm
Right? So
not looking
concrete
for
numbers coming
concrete
up.
number. I'm just
So-
looking.
All right, so we're gonna use some concrete numbers. Basically, let's say you have a one bedroom downtown that usually goes for around one bedroom, one bath, 22 to 23, maybe 2,400 a month right now. You can probably get in short term rental money on Airbnb 3,000. So you're getting a surplus of like a few $100s a month cash flow. So over the year, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a few thousand.
Yeah.
Now there is a service fee, cleaning fee, and whatnot that you can charge on top of that rental price on Airbnb, so it wouldn't affect your net coming in. But you also, you want to definitely think about the property management aspect of it. How much time is it going to take for you to do the cleaning or laundering yourself versus hiring the cleaner or even hiring a property management company, right? Because as realtors, if you invest or purchase a property through us, we usually go in there and we are your property manager, right? So it might be something that you negotiate, or it might be something that's included, just depending on your relationship with your realtor and what you agree upon. Maybe you can speak to that as well.
Yeah. So regarding this Airbnb rent system, I think the important is you can set up the rules for the host, and then you can regulate all your like daily your how to take care your property, and then so all the Airbnb family, the community, they know most of its experience. They travel all around the world, right? So they know your rules, and then they follow the rules. So really, like you have a good experience when you deal with different the people from the world, and then you can have like the culture exchange, whatever.
Culture
then,
exchange.
Yeah, yeah. So then you feeling like achievement because for example, me 3 years ago, I had a guest from Botswana. Yeah, Botswana, where Ireland. So
Wow.
he is graduate university. One is the player university to play tennis. So and then he become my coach. 3 months stay with us, and then I cook for them, and then they teach they taught they coach me tennis 3 months.
Wow.
And then this guy is 20 years never touched tennis, and then I gave them chance to recover his skills, his level, and then everybody happy. So that is I start this experience, and then they have so many like other guests. They have a different like hobby, like a cocktail. One guest from the LA, so he loved like cocktail. And then he even like this 3 months being
Oh,
here.
cocktails?
Cocktail.
Cocktails.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, like mixology, making alcoholic
yeah,
drinks.
drink every day, and then make recipe for us.
Oh,
And
that's
then
so fun.
I never have experience for that before.
That's
yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually realize that you were a host yourself. I thought you were just managing your clients' properties for Airbnb, but it looks like Aaron is a host himself. And he's saying a huge benefit is that cultural exchange that as a host you get with the renters that come in. That's so cool. I didn't think about that. So, but yeah, there are some features that make it more secure for sure. And then you can choose your rental price. And what I really love about Airbnb is that it actually, like the price changes, right? Depending on the availability of the inventory, which is really interesting. Like if there's less inventory, they'll jack up the prices. So you get more money in your pocket as a host.
Yes. So I have this experience when have a market halt or whatever, you change you did the renovation, and then you can I can more like return whatever because you have a good condition, better condition, and then still can create value for the guests, and then they love it, right? So yeah, even like with backyard, we have like beautiful garden, whatever. Then they have like a good beautiful view, and then they can enjoy the backyard, whatever. And then everybody they love that kind of like the place. Then we can create different value for the guest. Then we feel reachable.
Very good. Yeah. So you get to know other people as well that comes from another country. So and you even host it yourself, right? They come to stay in your house and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that is a very good experience that you get to know different cultures as well. But we talked about more about this other things like how to generate more income. So for the I'm talking about investors, how they can come in here and they can also generate, because as a realtor for 30 years, I will not do a rental by itself, right? Let's say you buy a condo from me, then I will rent it out yearly. I wouldn't do Airbnb. So would you do it, Aaron, for your client?
Before COVID-19, before the city by law passed, we did that some for client, because at that time is no specific rules for the Airbnb system. Now the city they passed by law, and then they have to be like the owner occupying the residence, and then they have a 180 days the limit if you rent like the whole house for Airbnb. Yeah, so that
So you can only rent half of the year, is that correct?
yeah 180 days
Oh.
whatever. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. So
Well, what about condo? If it's a one-bedroom condo, the owner cannot live in there.
depend on the condo management office. Maybe they're by law not allowed to do the Airbnb.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Depending on the management.
Yeah, yeah. For example, the Tridel never allow you to do Airbnb. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
Okay, so that's a good thing to know. But however, there's opportunities, right? So certain company that would allow it, certain company would not allow it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So check with your condo board,
Yeah.
and when in doubt, ask a real estate agent and get some professional advice.
Yes, we can talk when you're interested in investment, and then when you get a house, how to rent this income. So we can have some advice or idea. You can talk, right?
Yeah, we can analyze the numbers, right?
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
crunch the numbers for
Yeah.
your area, for your unit. Like,
Yeah.
what do you expect to get? Net profits. Is it worth it for
Yeah.
you to run it as an Airbnb or to get a long-term rental? What would be the better option and stuff?
Yeah.
yeah, and also no worries. If you get a unit and if you need to rent it out, if you cannot run on Airbnb, we can still do it yearly. So the short term, we can do 6 months to a year or 2 years or more on the condo or house, right? So those are also for investment purposes. So we go according to the market rate, and we have people here. The IQI team will assist you to get your money back or return on your investment, so that you have no fear. So we are here, never fear. All right.
Yes.
I learned so much today. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and have a great day.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
remember us. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Aaron.
See you next
Okay,
time.
see you next
See you.
time.
Okay. Uh-huh.